because a lot of times people sometimes they want the garbage.
Oh yeah.
I remember teaching a private. I won't say where. It was one of the first privates ever taught in my life. I'll never forget this. And this guy wanted to learn, like, you started a private like this, Rob. Like, I want to learn some dark jiu-jitsu. And I have no idea what he's talking about. You know, I'm like fresh black belt. I'm like one of my first privates, maybe my first private ever. I'm like, so like some dark jiu-jitsu. I'm like, I should have asked him to define dark jiu-jitsu, but like I just went like, oh, I'm gonna show him my best stuff. My only reaction was like, I'm gonna show him my best stuff. So I showed him some really cool, like, you know, hand fighting tricks, back takes, some good show, like sneaky stuff, like good details. And this goes on for the first 30 minutes, right? And then he's just like, I can see he's not liking it, you know. I'm like, I don't know what, this guy's a beginner, right? But I don't know what else to show him. Maybe it's too complicated. I don't know. To make it simple, he wasn't liking it. And then at one point he stops the private, like maybe like halfway through, and he goes like, Rob, what if someone attacks you and your girlfriend? I'm like, well, I'll be like, try to put myself between me and her, maybe get her to run if possible. Depends if he's armed or not. I'm just going with the most reasonable, rational decisions for me to make in that situation.
Yeah.
What if it's in a dark alley and you can't run? And I'm like, well, in that case, I'd hit the guy and like take him down and protect her and, you know, do this and that. And he's like, well, what if you're in a dark alley and there's no way to run and you're surrounded by 4 men and all 4 of them are judo black belts? I'm like, when is this? What are 4 judo black belts? When is this? What situation is this happening? And that's when it clicked, man. Like, this guy just wanted me to bullshit him. Like, he just wants to, like, the crap, the nonsense. Like, give him my best stuff, and he's just like, I don't want to look at that. So I literally started making stuff up. Like, I'd be like this, and then that, and just, like, knocking all of them out, like, with, like, all these bullshit moves. And he loved it. Yeah. It's like he had this, like, Shaolin kind of, like, you know, old Kung Fu movies kind of vision of how a fight took place.
Yeah, he wanted to see that.
That's kind of what he wanted, and that's what he meant by dark jiu-jitsu, I'm assuming. And there's a little bit of that in the BTG community. I feel like sometimes there's a lot of like people that they prefer like the nonsense,
the trick
sometimes.
Moves.
Yeah, like, it's not that it's not important, but it's like 1% of the equation. Like, why are you not looking at the big numbers? You know, and
exactly. Yeah,
because excitement takes prevalence over, you know, efficiency sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, you want to do the moves that are the most common that work well. Yeah. You know, because I mean, Marcelo Garcia was arm drags, right? Rear naked chokes. They're not fancy, but it works.
Roger Gracie literally made a career out of choking everyone. With that choke, that if I showed it even my white belt to look at that choke and go like roll their eyes like, oh, this is so boring, you know. But he basically mount people and go boom, boom.
Yeah, cross choke.
And it's the first choke you learn, one of the first chokes you learn in BJJ, and I'm not saying that you know you should stop doing everything to focus on, but like it does say something about I don't like old and new. I like efficient versus non-efficient.
Yeah. And
I like to focus on high percentage moves. To me, an intelligent class, an intelligent curriculum is focused on high percentage moves above all. It's a hierarchy. For sure. I don't like to use best and worst, but like there's a hierarchy of, you know, like the most efficient down the ranks, and I think your investment goes accordingly.
Yeah, because you want to put yourself in a position where you could execute moves. Yeah. Like when I was coming up with the whole Kimura Trap System thing, it was because that last ACC in 2007 where I grappled you and Zanje, I did it was like 60 minutes of grappling for 4 matches. Yeah. Because I was getting overtimes left and right, triple overtime, double overtime. Yeah. I'm like, I need to finish people because I'm running a marathon where everybody else is doing a sprint. Yeah. You know? So I'm like, what? And I started thinking back to my wrestling days, game plans. I'm like, all right, what's the submission that I could hit from the most positions? Yeah. And then to me, Kimura.
Yeah, it's true.
So like, why would I focus on doing like flying triangle? Which I can only do it for my feet, and I could get really good.
Beautiful move.
Yeah, beautiful move, but like it's a limited use case, right? Yeah. Whereas Kimura, I could do literally everywhere. Yeah. So if I have a really good Kimura, I'm dangerous all over the place. You know what I mean? So like common move, but just very efficient, and I can execute from everywhere. You know, so I agree with you there. Like basic stuff usually works well because it's basic, so it implies it's simple to set up and execute. But most people are like, oh, if a white belt can do it, that means it's not good. Like, no, it means it's that good. The technique is so efficient that even someone with a very basic understanding can do it to you. Yeah. Right? Like, to me, basic means powerful. Yeah. A complex move requires someone with extreme technical knowledge to be able to execute it. So it's like you said, very limited use case.
And what's interesting to me, like, the thing is, it goes back to that laser-like focus I was talking about. So let's say you watch a highlight of, let's say, Mike Musumeci and, João Miao going at it, right? Like, the highlight shows, like, what is not the reality of it. That showed, like, the very, like, compartmentalized aspects of the match. But if you really pay attention, like, no matter who you think of, like, the most technical grappler in the world, if you look at what he's doing, I would say about 95% of what they do is extremely simple. And then there's a 5% who's more sophisticated, but it stands out.
Yeah.
The thing is, the 5% stands out. If you just grab the collar and like shift your weight, your hip this way so you don't fall over to your right, it's so simple that most people don't even notice. So yeah, of course, but he's doing it.
Yeah.
So, but like it doesn't stand out. There's no story for that. Right, it's only the one thing that no one's ever seen before, for example, or like whatever is aesthetically pleasing that takes some that makes noise, like, so to speak. And I'm very observant of these things because you don't want to ignore. You want to look at the whole picture, is what I'm saying. Not just like the whole. Looking at the whole picture is actually very, very important. That's why highlights are. I had a rule when I fought. I never watch highlights of my opponents. Don't watch highlights of your opponent. Don't do it because it messes you up. It's like it'll be like, oh man, that guy's so good. It makes people look so much better than they actually are. So careful with those.
I think going back to those basic fundamental moves, my goal is to try to make a basic move more complex by noticing the smaller details, right?
Yeah.
Like someone like Roger Gracie with his cross choke probably has some nuggets of knowledge.
I'll give you one. I know. I felt that.
That he's able to pull on that most people don't know. But the move is so efficient that you could do it poorly and still finish people. Yeah. But if you know every moving part, it becomes fatal, If
you're tapping world-class black belts with it over and over, you probably figure something out. There's something.